Okay, I think we're live this morning. Well, good morning, and this video is for the assignments for week 2. So hopefully you have your lab kit and you've gone through everything. You've completed everything for week 1 and you're ready for week 2. So this week is the first week that begins actually using the materials in the lab kit and also some general lab safety. So you're going to find some goggles in your lab kit, and you're going to want to make sure that you read through all the instructions on Blackboard for the lab each week. So there's important information in there in terms of the background, instructions. A lot of them have a video that goes along with it, kind of gives you an idea. You're going to want to make sure that you take pictures at the beginning and the middle and the end, because again, you're doing a pre-lab and turning that in, and you're doing a post-lab, but you're also going to want to document that you actually did the lab, because since this is not a face-to-face class or a hybrid class, I can't see you and you can't see me. So make sure that you document with photos. You're going to put them in a Word document and then just submit them. It's pretty simple. If you're having questions while you're doing the labs, you can email me. You can go to the Google Hangout chat place and talk to me there. So there's a couple of different options for you to be able to talk to me. I'll try to put as much information as I can on Blackboard so that you kind of know which labs are more difficult than others. This week's lab is on who doesn't like slime. So it's kind of a fun lab. Most of the labs are pretty fun. They're not they're not too bad. There's a couple of labs as it goes through that involve some eggs, and the instructions will tell you if you need something outside of what the lab kit provides you. So there are a couple of labs that use a few things. They use a water and stuff like that that's outside of the lab kit. So just keep that in mind as you go through them. You might want to go through each of the labs at least for the first few weeks and make sure that you have everything so you don't get behind. This class isn't designed to be able to do the labs all at once, so please don't get behind, because if you get behind with the labs, it's like missing labs, and this semester you can only miss 3 or you fail the course. So don't do that. Let me know if you're having problems. We'll figure something out, okay? Otherwise, this week's material it's a little bit heavy in the chemistry side. Last week's was more introductory chemistry, introduction to biology kind of stuff. This week, there's a little bit more about water, about bonding, why water is so important. That's where the slime comes in, about chemical bonding, using, there's some silly putty in the lab. So anyway, just talks a lot about water. And one thing I wanted to say, a lot of students get confused when they see the word chemistry. They think, oh no, chemistry. Don't be scared by chemistry. I like to think of it, break it down to its simplistic parts. And it's a nice thing to use is water, because of course water is a universal solvent, so you can't go wrong. What are the properties of water? What makes water the universal solvent? And then if you compare everything else, any kind of substance or molecules that you have or a compound to water, you can ask yourself simple questions. Does it like water? Is it hydrophilic? Does it not like water? Is it hydrophobic? Is it bonded together like water? Like how hydrogen and oxygen are bonded together? Or is it different? So these are the kind of questions that, instead of getting like really flustered with chemistry, find something that you know a lot about, like water. I always use water, and compare other things to it. And that will tell you, okay, yes, it's the same, or no, it's different. And if it's different, you can figure out, well, how is it different? Okay, so this week's information and then next week's information, it builds on itself and goes from a very simple chemistry like atoms, elements, into some of the molecules, and then into the macromolecules that we have in our bodies that we must have, like carbohydrates, fats, proteins, things like that. So that's where this is going. This first kind of 2, 3, 4 chapters is really getting you, we're moving into the cell by the time we get to like week 4 and 5. So just to give you a heads up. So if there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I hope you all had a great Memorial Day. And I will talk to you later. All right, bye.